wonder who's going to come in today. It's kind of an off day for me. Yeah, it's an off day. It's a little hot in here. I think it's like almost 90 degrees here in suburban Charlotte, North Carolina. One person liked me. That's wonderful. Wow, one person liked me. My hair is all over the place today. Look at that. Hello. Hi. Let's pull it a little closer here. I want to see everyone. I wonder who's going to come in today. Welcome to Hollywoodland22. How are you doing? Kelly Nunez, 9974. Hi, how are you doing? Welcome to Hollywoodland22. If you could hit the subscribe button, I'd be very, very happy. I'm over 1,000 subscribers now on YouTube here, and I'm working on 5,000. That's my next goal, to get to 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you. That's awesome. I'm glad that you're subscribed too. I need subscribers. This is a non-monetized channel. I don't make any money on this. I don't really need the money, but I like to meet people. Sometimes people come on here that help me a lot. Sometimes I help them. Not top tier today. I've been up since 6 o'clock in the morning. I've been very busy. Have you ever had that happen in your life? Yeah, you'll make it to 5,000 subscribers. What do you think about 100,000 subscribers? Because that's the long-term goal. I mean, if I can get to 5,000 subscribers or 7,000 or 10,000, one of those numbers, then I will more than likely monetize the channel, but not right now. It's okay. Your Chad jaw makes up for your tired eyes. Really? Thank you. Yeah, a lot of people do. A lot of people do. I mean, if I could get to 10,000, if this is worth anything, and if I could earn some real money off of this, and I think it will happen in the future, not too long from now. Yeah, why not? It's my time. I don't think it's going to take the place of my things now, but we'll see. We will see, won't we? Why not 1 million? Well, my first goal was 100,000 subscribers, and my second goal is 5,000 subscribers. Then we're going to have a third goal of 10,000. Then it's going to be 100,000 subscribers. And then after 100,000, it's going to be 1 million. What was happening in my life is I don't want to use somebody else's words. I don't want to. True American guy right here. Hello from Sweden. Hi, how are you doing? Welcome. I'm Randall, or Randy, aka Hollywoodland22, in a little town in between Raleigh and Charlotte, North Carolina. Look like you buy bags of lollies. Really? 1 billion, biggest YouTuber in history. Are they in India, China? Where are they? I'd like to know. Really? Is that what you think? Okay. Goodbye. You really look famous, like Doctor Who actor, like a Doctor Who actor. I used to watch Doctor Who when I was a kid. I remember when that was real popular. We used to listen to that. We used to watch that program, and on a UHF channel in Philadelphia when I was a child. I remember that. We had it over here. It was popular over here, especially on. Okay, and you're gone for slandering. Goodbye. I'm doing good, man. Partying at American Days Music Festival in Sweden. How are you? I'm doing good. Roski Rebels. Looks like Ted Danson, but not enough money for a decent hairpiece. I don't have a hairpiece on. This is my hair. That's odd. You would think that this is a hairpiece. This is my hair. All of it's my hair. Every bit of it. So I don't know what makes you think that I would have that. No, I don't follow directives to do backflips. You called me an MF. Well, yeah, I am. OGK Fabrication 4180. It looks like the type of guy I'd definitely crush a bag with, that's for sure. Big beater. Nice. I'm happy to hear that, man. I'm going to subscribe to you. I'll see. See you later. No, I'm 6'1". See that? My wingspan is 6'2" from arm to arm. 6'2.5". I have long arms. I'm 6'1". How tall are you? Doesn't really matter how tall somebody is. People do ask me. I do have some short people that ask me in the grocery store to get things up on the top shelf. I'm really good at it. I'll tell you what, it got hot today. You know, Charlotte, North Carolina is in what they call, it's a higher elevation than the coastal plain from the Atlantic Ocean going west. It's in an area where it goes up a little bit to the Piedmont. It's a little bit higher elevation. And we are on the dry side of the Appalachian Mountains in the United States. So it doesn't rain here as much. It's about 43 or 44 inches annually, yeah. It rains more on the other side of the mountains. So we have kind of a dry climate, and the summers are pleasant here in Raleigh and Charlotte. And even down in South Carolina, down in Greenville and places like that. It's kind of muggy down at the ocean, like in Wilmington, some of the older cities that were part of the original 13 colonies before we were a country, like Wilmington and Charleston, places like that. They're hot and muggy like Florida. This is different up here. This is very similar to Sacramento weather or Northern California weather near near Mount Shasta or Ukiah or Redding, California, if you know those places. It's very similar. A lot of Californians that have left California, they like this area. They've moved here. We mostly, Charlotte, North Carolina, is one of the fastest growing cities in the United States. Like one of the top three. I think we have like 70 to 80 people moving here every day, mostly from New York, from what we call the tri-state area, which is New York City, the suburbs of New York, and Western Connecticut and Northern New Jersey. That tri-state area around New York, they move down here. And a lot of people from the Washington, D.C. area, when they retire from their federal jobs, they like to come down here because it's less expensive to live here and they can spread their money out when they get old. So there's a lot of senior citizens around here. I've been wondering, Kelly Nunes, 9974, I've been wondering what would be a good idea for me to start a YouTube channel. If you can do it, I'm sure I can. Well, it's easy for me to do it. I'm used to being in front of the camera. My life's not that boring. Well, your life doesn't have to be boring. Like I said, this is for fun. This is a non-monetized channel. I come on here just to meet people. You know, I don't really need any money. If I get to if I get to about maybe, I'll have to look it up. I'll Google it later. Somewhere between 7,000 and 10,000 subscribers. And at that point, I'll probably monetize the channel. That's funny about my hair. Darling, you look marvelous. Thank you. Walter White, no. I've been told that if I was to have my hair cut off, that I would look like Walter White. But do I look Irish to you? Because I'm not Irish. My ethnicity, well, my nationality is American. My ethnicity is approximately 50% English and 50% German. You look like you're ready to leave the news. I could have been a newscaster, but I was in direct sales. I sold a lot of things. Come on, trolls. I've seen you a few times. What are you after? What am I after? Deanna McDade 9550. What am I after? After what? What am I after? Fun and excitement, making friends, talking about whatever you want to talk about on my channel, which is Hollywoodland22. And if you could subscribe, I'd appreciate it. It's free to subscribe. It's fun. It's easy. And only you beautiful people can press that subscribe button and help me out. Let's get to 5,000 subscribers. And thank you for liking the stream too. I'm after moments of joy. They seem to elude me. They seem to catch me by surprise. I just get blessed every once in a while with moments of joy. Sometimes things that bring a tear to my eye. You know, I don't have a wig. I don't know what you're talking about. 44 people in here. That's great. Channel surfing. Well, welcome in. I'd wanking up. Dude is absolutely killing it. He looks great, but the hair is mental. What's mental? What do you mean mental about my hair? What is? It's my hair. Should I just let it grow all out? I'm not going to have facial hair. I don't understand the beard thing. What is this? The Abraham Lincoln look or the Ulysses S. Grant beard look? It's just, it's corny and dumb. I don't get that. It's like, dude, you're like 28 years old. You're like younger than me, and you're a young guy in your 20s and you got a beard. It's like, dude, get a haircut and shave your face off. And get a job like delivering mulch or something, mister. Some of you guys need to stop playing those video games. I know some women that work harder than you do. Anyway, what sign am I? I'm a late June Cancerian. My sign. My sun sign is Cancer, and my rising sign, which was, I had my astrological chart. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know if it's unchristian or something like that. I had my astrological chart done by the longitude and the latitude lines of where I was born, the time I was born. I know the town I was born in. I'm not going to tell you. And the day of my birth. And I did it in Studio City, California, which is a neighborhood in Los Angeles in what's called the San Fernando Valley on Ventura Boulevard. It's around the corner. It's probably within walking distance of Universal Studios. I lived in Los Angeles for, I don't know, somewhere between 29 and 32 years, something like that. And it was done for free. The woman liked me. I sparked up a conversation with her on the sidewalk. She said, "Come in my studio. I want to do your sign and your full astrological sign." And she said, I'm a late, Cancer starts and Cancerians are born, I believe, is the 22nd of, either the 21st or 22nd, I'm after that, of June until like the 21st or 22nd of July. And I'm a late June, very late June, Cancerian. I will not tell you my birth date. So my sun sign is Cancer and my rising sign is Sagittarius. And she told me, this was a long time ago. This was, I think it was like 2008 or 7 or something like that. And she told me that I am not like a normal, I have some characteristics of a Cancer. I kind of like to, I'm parental. I'm empathetic. I'm kind of an empath. I really am. I feel other people's pain. But I'm also, I have a Sagittarius rising, which means that I'm very adventurous and stuff. Like as a young guy, I went across country. I jumped on a Greyhound bus with a friend of mine, just took off and went out to California. I was really young. It's no big deal to me. I've worked and lived in a lot of different places in the United States. Washington State, I lived up there near Seattle for about 3 years. I had some friends up there, and I've been all down in Florida, vacationing, not living down there. As an adult, I've lived in Philadelphia, New Jersey, see where else, Maryland, in the Washington, D.C. area. And I've also lived in Los Angeles, the city of Los Angeles, California, for over 3 decades. I lived in the Hollywood Hills when I was really young. I lived up in a guest house behind a mansion that I rented out for $425 a month. It was great, except I had to walk all the way down the hill, or I had to drive all the way down the hill when I purchased a car out there. And it was a Chevy Nova. It's a real cheap car, but it made it up. It got me back and forth to where I wanted. I was a real young guy. But it was fun. I eventually moved down into central Hollywood. I lived off of Yucca and Wilcox, just south of the Lido Apartments. I've lived in some other places, just south of Beverly Hills, in the Pico Robertson neighborhood, if you know where that is. I've lived in North Hollywood. I've lived in West Van Nuys. I've lived in Chatsworth, California. That's all up in northern Los Angeles in the San Fernando Valley. That's where they film a lot of television programs and stuff up there. Yes, I do know some celebrities and stuff like that, but I don't name drop here. I just don't do it. The celebrities I've met are actually mostly actors, a lot of musicians from Hollywood, but I don't name drop. I'm old enough. I'm over 45 years old, but I'm not in my 60s. You're pretending to have the hair of a young man. No, I don't have gray. I have a little tiny bit of gray hair and a little bit of tiny gray hair. My family has I used to have like dark hair. When I was younger, I had really dark hair when I was like a young guy. I don't know where it came from. I'm not sure. Yeah, I have I got about $3,500 worth of work to be done on my teeth, which I have not gotten to. I'm taking care. I'm actually frying some bigger fish right now. I'm actually preparing for a surgery. It's a routine surgery, but all surgeries entail risk. But I'm having a routine surgery, so I can't eat a lot of food right now. You can probably figure out what kind of a routine surgery I'm having. It's nothing complicated. My heart and everything works fine. I don't have any real bad diseases or anything. It's just what everybody else has to do. Where did you live in Los Angeles? Did you live in the Valley? Did you live downtown? Did you live in San Pedro? Did you live in Inglewood or Winglewood? Did you live down there? Where'd you live, Big Beater? At Big Beater, where'd you live in Los Angeles? Did you live off of Wilshire? Did you live in MacArthur Park? In a sleeping bag? Where'd you live? Joe Milkovich, 9567. Is your name Larry? Is your name Larry? Is your name Larry? No, my name is not Larry. It is Randall. Is my name. Does anyone know me? Do you know me from Philadelphia? Do you know me from Cherry Hill, New Jersey? Do you know me from that's South Jersey? Do you know me from the San Fernando Valley? Do you know me from King County, Washington, in Bellevue or Kirkland or Redmond? Do you know me from San Pedro? Do you know me from Hollywood? Do you know me from North Hollywood? Do you know me from Van Nuys or Chatsworth? Where do you know me from? If you didn't pop up on my feed, I would have never looked for anything Hollywood because I have absolutely no interest in it. But I'm glad that I did, and you know this. That's great, Kelly Nunez, 9974. Somebody says, Big Beater said he lived in Los Angeles. I'm looking to see where he lived. When you were born, they only discovered 7 of the star signs. Okay, you're a funny guy. Do you know my rising sign? My rising sign is Sagittarius. Yes. And my sun sign is Cancer. Yes, it is. Sorry if I'm a little bit crass. Sometimes I could come off as a little bit crass. It's part of my personality. I need to work on that. Hi from Southern Ohio next to the Ohio River. Is that the one that that actor was talking about in that movie Apocalypse Now? He was talking about all the flowers that grow on the Ohio River. Remember that? What was that actor's name? Marlon Brando? He was telling Charlie Sheen's dad, who had to go look for him up the river. He was talking about how beautiful the Ohio River was and all the flowers that grow on there in Southern Ohio. Characteristics of cancer. People try to avoid you. No. You saved my life indirectly with your advice. Want to say thank you. The diddly diddler fiddler. Thank you. Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad that I saved someone's life indirectly. You know, God comes through people. He works. I had somebody asked me the most profound question I've ever been asked in my life. And the answer is I just figured it out. Like a couple of weeks ago. It's a very good question. Daniel Holman, Sagittarius here too. I'm a Cancer with a Sagittarius rising. You're welcome. You're welcome, Fiddler. Wendy Shores, hello. Welcome back. Here you go with the glasses. That's right. I'm Scorpio rising and Sagittarius sun. You are a perfect match. Really? I did not know that. Savannah Land. Huey Lewis, is that you? Just a blessed. No. How old am I? Well, I'm not going to talk about how old I am. No. But in my mind, I'm 19 forever. I've always been like that. If so, I'm happy to be stuck with you. Just a blessed. 7110 10. Thank you. No go, haha. Do you know Stray Kids? No, I don't. And you're gone. I guess Donna Hanahan, Washington. Washington State or Washington, D.C. I have lived in Tacoma Park, Maryland, in Prince George's County, Maryland. That's where my parents are from. College Park, my dad and my mother grew up in Tacoma Park, Maryland, both in Prince George's County, Maryland. My mother went to High Point High School, and my father went to that one that's on East West. What is it called? I'll think of it. So I know the PG County and Montgomery County. I know that area. I know the DC area, but I also lived in Bellevue, Washington. And Donna Hanahan, do you know me from Washington State? I lived there 3 years. I lived in Bellevue. I lived in and also in Kirkland. Yeah, I don't think so. Reminding God, have you watched Andrei Rublev and Tarkovsky or Gospel or Pasolini? No, I haven't. What is that? At Adu, 69420. A lot of 420s, a lot of weed smokers around here, huh? Yes, I have been to Chicago. I've been to Lake Michigan. I've been in the Loop. I've been in the Greyhound bus station there. It's a young guy coming across country. It wasn't a nasty question. Just recognized seeing him somewhere. Philadelphia, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You might have seen me in Washington, D.C. area. Los Angeles, probably. Or King County, Washington. Between Cincy and Portsmouth, Ohio. I've heard of Portsmouth. Peter Coyotes. Your voice. I do not know who Peter Coyote is. Why would people be hateful to older people anyway? It's stupid. I'm not even an old person. I mean, what are you, fucking a kid on my channel? This is not for children. So if you're a child, get off my live. Much love from Belgium. They will get old if they live long enough. I hope so, because anybody that's, I mean, if you think about it, with as much drinking and rugs that people do in the United States, I mean, I don't. I'm 19 years sober off of alcohol. I haven't smoked cigarettes in 5 years, and my lungs I breathe perfectly fine. I'm bipolar. I'm manic. I have a lot of energy. You know, I walk like 2 or 3 miles a day. I mean, then there's other people that are over 45 that barely can get out of a chair. I mean, I've seen people that are like between like 45 and 55 years old that they can barely walk. I'm like, what's going on with that? What did you do your whole life? Did you like, wow, it's hard. I want to be healthy. Good evening from France. What's your favorite pasta? I like manicottis. I grew up around a lot of Italians in Philadelphia. So I'm Italiano comida. Es muy bueno. I grew up eating a lot of Italian food. And then I went out to Los Angeles and I started eating a lot of Sonoran Mexican food, like northern Mexican food from Sonora, Baja, you know, the little tacos and tamales and things like that. The state must be named after it. Maryland was a cookie brand. No, Maryland was originally a colony for Roman Catholics. But it's not all Roman Catholic. It's American colony turned, and it's a state. I think it's a state, or is it a Commonwealth? No, it's the state of Maryland. Pennsylvania is a Commonwealth. I believe Virginia is a Commonwealth too. It might not be. I can't remember. I'm going to check that film out. No, I'm not. To me, old is 70. Like if you're 70, if you can live to be 70 years old, you're old. I mean, technically, I guess, you know, things are different now. You know, with my generation, you got people that, I've seen people that are a lot older than me that are like in their late 65 and stuff like that, that are like they lift weights and they're running around and they're got a lot of energy and they're jumping all over the place. It depends on your genes and who you are and stuff like that. I have friends that I grew up with and they got into rugs and they never stopped and they ended up kicking the bucket at 43 and 44 years old, you know. Maybe they had bad genes and they did substances and they didn't make it. I miss them. Some of these people, I knew them since high school and junior high school. Okay, so you're gone. If you don't want to be here, you don't have to. Goodbye. Kubrick is my favorite. No, it's not a wig. I like Raiders of the Lost Ark. That was a good film. I like that. How do you stop feeling like the world is over when I have a beer? I don't know. Richard Blake, hi Hollywood, hi. How are you doing? Welcome in. No, I'm not 60. I'm not anywhere near 65. No, it's not Kurt Russell's dad. Well, bipolar disorder, I wouldn't wish bipolar 1 disorder, which is the most common type. I would not wish that on my worst enemy. I was diagnosed like I was diagnosed at the hospital of the University of Pennsylvania in the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And also with some other things. Dissociative identity disorder, which I had a lot of therapy for. I saw a neuropsychologist in near Universal City. I saw somebody, I had regression therapy, like regressive therapy. They hypnotize you and they go back to your childhood and they find out where the trauma is and then you deal with it. It's too big of a subject to talk about here. Did they Ludovico You? Super. Actually, for me to get hypnotized was not hard. I went right into it. I have cluster C and PDD-POS. Mirror Fox 59. I wonder what that is. How do you, Alexa 98, how do you handle it right now? Are you stable? Yeah, fairly. I take a lot of medication for bipolar disorder. I used to be, when I was younger, I had mixed states. It's kind of like, I was a rapid cycling bipolar. I would be manic for about 2 days and then depressed for 2 days and go back and be manic for 2 days. I used to go up and down and up and down and up and down. I used to regulate it with alcohol. I was really, people self-medicate, It took a while before I learned that I really need to take lithium and go to bed at a certain time and take care of myself. It took a while. I used to be a young person that didn't want to follow directives from doctors and stuff like that. There was a time in my life when I used to think I knew everything. I do not know everything, and I know I don't know everything. I figured that out. When I was in my late 30s, I was like, you know what? There's a lot of things I don't know. Oh, so you take Seroquel, it's introvert, and I popped up randomly. Randy, I'm random. We talk about whatever you want to talk about. Enjoy your day. Thank you, Mirror Fox 59. You too. There are some dark entities influencing your mental health. You need spiritual help. You think I need spiritual help? I actually gave my life to Jesus. Let's see, 2008. My old pictures, I do have old pictures of me. I don't know why you would make that assumption about me. Babo Vic 777. There are dark entities influencing your mental health and need spiritual help. Why would you think that about me? That's odd to make a statement about somebody that you don't know like that. No, I took off with a friend of mine. I wanted to leave Philadelphia and South Jersey area, and I just wanted to go live somewhere else. And I went out to Hollywood. I actually went out to San Diego, and then I said, well, let's go up to Los Angeles and see what that's like. And Donald and I went up to Los Angeles. We did not like downtown Los Angeles. It didn't even look as bad as it looks now. But then we went out and we took off to Hollywood, and we just ended up there. He took off after a couple months and left me there and stiffed me, and I had to hustle up some money real fast and pay the rent. And then I stayed. I ended up staying in California for over 30 years. No, not witness protection. I don't know what you're talking about. So you're gone. You're slandering me. Goodbye. No, I don't wear a wig. I don't follow directives very well, except from people that are paying me, if they do pay me. No. No, for some people, it's hard to get hypnotized, not for everybody. Let's see, go by here. Okay, we got 64 people in here watching me. Enough about me. Let's talk about you. Why on earth? What are you watching me for? It's Friday. Don't you have a second job to go to? A lot of inflation. I'm sure you have a second job to go to. Those bills are racking up, aren't they? You earn money by working. You make money by using your brain. Did you know that? Did you ever hear about the theory of random numbers? Look up the theory of random numbers and Google it. The theory of random numbers. It's an article written by H. Burke Horton. It's very interesting. Oh, I have a Cash App. Yeah, but I don't need any money. I mean, if I see that somebody that is, you know, a live streamer or, you know, a live streamer or a friend of mine or a family member that is in financial need, then I will. If it's a family member or somebody that I've gotten to know as a live streamer that I watch on a regular basis, I will send them some money via either PayPal or Cash App or something like that. Something like that. I mean, it's the least I can do. You know, if it's a channel that I'm very entertained by, and that not just entertained, but a channel where I think a person's a decent person and good people, and is being very productive and teaching people and doing a lot of arts and crafts and things like that. I tend to watch artists and stuff like that. Or people that are funny, that have a really good attitude or something like that. I will help them out financially. Right now, I'm not monetized. I don't need money from anyone. I don't know if it's going to be 5,000, 7,500, or 10,000. But when I get up to one of those numbers, I'll have to Google it. I will monetize, just for the heck of it, you know, to see where this goes. This is just something I do. I actually go live. I live stream on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays at 6 p.m. until whenever. Sometimes it's 35 minutes, and sometimes it's a couple hours. Sometimes I stop after an hour, and sometimes I come back late at night. You never know when I'm going to pop up. I could pop up for my days off of live streaming are Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Sometimes I could pop up on a Tuesday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You never know when Randy, aka Hollywoodland22, on YouTube is going to pop up, and you can watch me talk about whatever you want to talk about. So let's see what you want to talk about. You have to be a director of some type of intelligence agency. There's no way. Really? You think that, do I look like a bureaucrat or a federal government worker? Do I sound like one? What does our president call that? He calls that the swamp. I had somebody come in here and accuse me of being a MAGA person. I'm a political centrist. I'm right down the middle. I mean, I grew up in Philadelphia, which is a very socially liberal Democrat area, and then I lived in Hollywood. What do you think my politics are? You have no idea. I'm never going to tell you. But I'm not all the way right. I'm not all the way left. I tend to lean left with my politics. I should apply for the new James Bond. Maybe. What are you giving me a hint? Should I stop and go back to Los Angeles the way it is now? They can't even figure out who the mayor is going to be. You know, they got a card carrying communist as the mayor. She's trying to wreck the city on purpose. Karen Bassora is her real name. Yeah. She's a real winner. Not. I don't think Spencer's going to win. I think they're going to steal the election. But I'm not going back to Los Angeles. I'd rather live in Orlando. I'd rather live next to Disney World or Miami or something like that. And if that doesn't work, I might decide to move to Missouri. I'll live somewhere in Missouri, in the middle of the country, and build a tornado shelter. Because guess what? I used to live in, my mother and father broke up, and we left the Philadelphia area, and I moved to Lubbock, Texas, in the panhandle of Texas. It's about 2 hours south of Amarillo. If you've heard of Lubbock, it's where Texas Tech University is. My mother worked there, and she worked for Texas Instruments, and I was a little boy there in the 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade, and part of the 9th grade. And I went to school, elementary and junior high school there. So I got to ride dirt bikes out in the desert too. But then I went back to the East Coast to live in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and I was raised by my father. And I went to high school in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, from the 10th grade on. And at that time, Cherry Hill High School West had like 97% of their graduating class going on to higher education. It was one of the best high schools in the entire United States in the late 1980s. If you've ever heard of Cherry Hill, New Jersey, it's where the Cherry Hill Mall is, and I even lived in the Cherry Hill high-rise apartments right across the street. You'd like to get away from the UK, Tristan Turley, 228. You know what state I would recommend? If you want the same kind of weather as the UK, I would recommend going to Western Washington State or Western Oregon State out in the Pacific Northwest. If you're looking for a change and you need some warmer weather, I would recommend Florida. I would recommend the middle of Texas, maybe the Dallas-Fort Worth area or the Austin, Texas area. Where else is a good place to live in the United States? Let me think. I would recommend, you might not like Arizona, it's a little hot, like Saudi Arabia. I would recommend Salt Lake City, Utah. That's a fine place. Get out of the USA, it's an open air asylum. No, it's not. We're the country that everybody is buying things from. You buy things from us, we buy things from you, but the thing is, you buy things from us, and we buy things from you. You really need us to purchase things that you make in other countries. You need our money, and we are having a recession right now, and our country's kind of like just pulling out of a recession, and our interest rates are just starting to go down, and we have like a bunch of people that are undocumented that are taking up housing space here, and this is kind of a rough time in the United States, and our country is still much, much wealthier than yours is. So the asylum, maybe if you go to some of the big cities, some large areas of some of our big cities seem like they're outdoor mental asylums, but not all of them. If you want to go to a really normal place where people are real normal and stuff, why don't you go to Lincoln, Nebraska or Topeka, Kansas? Very nice people there, very direct, very forthright. Thoroughbred American women. Real thoroughbred American women live in places like Kansas, Missouri, and Nebraska, and Iowa. Go there. Check them out. You'll thank me in the morning. Did the high school influence you to move on to higher education? Yes, it did. I went to a community college for about a year. I'm about 15 credits short of an associate's degree. I just didn't go through with college. I should have, but I went right into workforce. I got right into retail management. And, well, first working in restaurants and then retail sales and retail management, and then into the hotel business. And then I got into the nightclub business. And then I got into direct sales. I'm a cold caller. Used to sell aluminum siding, vinyl siding, tools, all kinds of stuff. When I was real young, I used to sell women's shoes and women's accessories, like handbags and things like that. When I was a young guy, when I was like 18 and 19, at 7% commission and plus, you know, whatever minimum wage was at the time. I think it was like $3.35, $4.25. And that was fun. And I used to get a lot of phone numbers too from a lot of hot chicks. I remember that. That was fun. That was fun. But that was before that was like Al Bundy was on TV. And then my friends would say, oh, what are you, Al Bundy? I was like Al Bundy without a wife. You have a strong presenter's voice. Have you ever done voiceover or audiobook work? No, but I am planning. I've tentative plans on looking into that in the Orlando, Florida area. Or even if I go to Missouri, because I like Four Seasons too. It depends on. We haven't made a decision, but yes, I have. Definitely. Television and radio advertisements and things like that, yes. I've thought about all that. I can do sales. I like that too. I like talking to people. Arkansas. Yeah, I was thinking about Arkansas. I think I want to stay on the Missouri side. But I have been to Mountain View, Arkansas. I had a family reunion. A lot of my family lives in the middle of the country. My extended family. On my father and my mother's side. On my father's side. My father's side, a lot of them live in like Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Eastern Colorado, and things like that. And a lot of our family reunions are in one of those states. And sometimes we have them in the Ozark Mountains. Yeah, Texas is a nice state. There's some parts of Texas I would not live in. There's other parts of Texas that I think are wonderful. West Texas is kind of rough. Houston inner city is rough. San Antonio, the suburban San Antonio, Austin, and Fort Worth, Dallas-Fort Worth metropolitan area are very fine places to live. I wouldn't live in East Texas. It's a little bit, it's just not really an economically viable area. Thank you for subscribing to Hollywoodland 22. Thank you. I do appreciate it. We're going to get up to 5,000 subscribers. What do you think? You people are beautiful. Thank you. Somebody said it's not manly to drink Mountain Dew out of, or any beverage out of a straw. That should only, if I was a real man, I would only drink out of a cup, right? I disagree with that person. You know, they say you are what you eat, right? And I'm a straight man. So what would that make me? Somebody put it in the chat. I'm a straight guy. I like women only. And if you are what you eat, what am I? Let's see if somebody can figure it out and put it in the chat. He looks like a Hollywood resident. Really? Yeah, I did live there for a while. I lived next to Playboy Liquors on Wilcox and Yucca. Do you know where that intersection is? No, I don't eat bacon. I don't eat pork products. I just got here. What about the Ozarks? As my family's lived there since 1959. I like Mountain View, Arkansas, and they have in Mountain View, Arkansas, they have a lot of like places where you can, hotels and things up there where you can have those little cabin things up there where you can have family reunions. So Mountain View, Arkansas is a little town, but it has a lot of family reunions they do up there. And I had a family reunion on my my father's mother's side of the family. That's the Collins family. I like pretzels, yes. Wendy Shores, you never touch pork in my life. That's good. Pork is a dirty animal. But I'm not going to judge anyone if you want to eat pork. That's okay. Advice of any topic for men in their 20s: do not ever stop smoking. Do not ever start smoking cigarettes. Do not ever use rugs, dangerous controlled substances. Do not smoke the high THC weed that's grown underneath the lamps. The weed they have nowadays is stuff that will destroy your cerebral cortex. I mean, if someone, I'm not going to judge anybody. I have no right to judge anyone. I mean, I'm not going to not like you if you do that. I have friends that smoke weed and stuff like that, but I wouldn't do it every day. I mean, if you're going to do it once a week, that's up to you. But I just don't, things in moderation, just don't, it's not good. I know too much about that. Wendy Shore says no. Hey, Randy and Chad. Hello, at Dakula1, my trusty moderator that I've been missing for about 56 minutes and 59 seconds. It's been rough. It's been rough, Dakula1. Airline_pilot was here for a while, but I haven't seen that individual in about 2 weeks or so now. And then there's Jerry. Jerry helps keep the chat flowing as a moderator. Thank you, Dakula1. Thank you for helping me with my channel so much. You're beautiful. Wales, UK. Laugh out loud. Wales, UK. You know, I heard that a long, long time ago that the people that ran Rome and their families, when Rome started to fall, I heard from a professor, I'm not sure, it's an American university professor, said that a lot of the well-to-do and wealthy families and the royalty and stuff like that, you know, the moneyed people in Rome, when Rome fell, they migrated to many areas of the world, but they migrated to where Wales is right now. I firmly believe that there's a lot of old Roman Empire bloodline that is in Wales. My bloodline goes back to 2 places, Dusseldorf, Germany, and a small village that's north of London, which I will not name because it will give you my surname, which I will not give you my surname. Only one person knows my surname on this internet that I'm aware of, or on social media. Well, sure, I take medication. I take aspirin sometimes. Take lithium carbonate. I used to take it. I take lorazepam sometimes, yeah. Heather McDonald, 7354. I know a person with bipolar. You both have similar ways of expressing yourself. Yes. And when you're a Cancerian with a Sagittarius rising sign and you're bipolar, it's really something else. You get me? Parasites. You know what? I wonder if there's parasites at Wendy Shores. I wonder if there's parasites in my body. I see things on social media, a lot on TikTok, about parasites are in people's bodies. When you get to be like 40, or by the time you're 40 or 45 years old, you start having all kinds of parasites. I mean, you might have a tapeworm inside you or something like that. You might not know about it. You take some medicine and stuff comes out of your feet and everything like that. I don't know. I'd have to talk to I see a geneticist. He's doing a full he's doing like all of my DNA. He's gonna tell me things about my genes in about 3 weeks, so that when I get older, what things I need to look out for if they run in my family. God forbid cancer or anything like that. I need to learn how to prepare myself for that. Well, I'm staying thin. I'm not smoking. I do not drink. I do not use drugs for 19 years. I walk 3 miles a day. I'm trying to keep as healthy as possible. And I have a low-fat diet, and I like salmon, and I try to eat well. And I don't eat too much. I don't think I even eat maybe about, I don't know, maybe about 1,200 calories a day, maybe 1,500 sometimes. Not very much. Jerry, Omaha, Nebraska, I have never been to. I did meet a live streamer that's from Omaha, Nebraska, and Omaha looks like a lot. It reminds me a lot of Topeka, Kansas, which I've been through. And it seems like it's one of those, like, it's not a big city. It's like a big, medium-sized city. And Topeka, Kansas is like that too. I've never been to Omaha before. I'll probably go there sometime in the future. And places like Des Moines, Iowa, you know, these places. And another place I want to visit is South Dakota. I want to visit South Dakota, Nebraska. I've been to Kansas. I want to visit Iowa, Missouri, Iowa, South Dakota, because I've already been to North Dakota. Yeah, South Dakota, Nebraska, and go back. I've already been to Missouri. What I want to see, Iowa, Nebraska, and South Dakota. Those are states I want to take a look at. I also want to look at and visit Wyoming, because I've never been to Wyoming. I've been above Wyoming. I've been below Wyoming. I've been through the mountains. I've never been to Wyoming. That's a lie. Pigs are not dirtier than other animals. You don't think so? Okay. Well, we disagree. Wendy's Shores, cook them. Exactly, no pork. All meat and fish are parasites. Pigs are not dirty. It's a myth. Really? Okay. Nasty, unclean meat. Pork is very unclean at Wendy's Shores. I agree with Wendy's Shores. I guess we agree to disagree, right? Pigs are dirty, doofus, says Dominico. I know that hogs will eat just about anything. I know people. I mean, I've eaten some pork before, like bacon and stuff like that, but I just don't eat it anymore. Decula. Whoops. Were you an actor? No. I know some actors. No, I haven't been to Wales, but I know I know people that have been to Wales. Oh, that's okay. No problem, Decula. I'm just glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. Oh, we're going to talk about hogs now, huh? Chester. What does Chester mean? Chester is an industrial town south of Philadelphia. I know where it is. I know where Westchester is too. Better late than never. Interesting. Chester, UK, Wales. Okay. LDNBUBBIJ. Cheater. Cheater how? How did I cheat? And who did I cheat? I was driving, so I wasn't able to remove comments. Oh, that's okay, Jerry. I'm just glad that you're here, Jerry. I really enjoy you being here. And I really do appreciate your help, Jerry, and Decula at Decula1. I appreciate you folks helping me out with my channel. I'm over 1,000 subscribers now at Hollywoodland22, which is my channel name. And my next goal is 5,000 subscribers. I would like to get 5,000 subscribers. Let's see. Let's try to get that within the next month. By the end of June. Let's see if I can get the 5,000 subscribers on Hollywoodland22. It is free, absolutely free for you and your friends and your family to subscribe to Hollywoodland22. This is a non-monetized channel at this point. I do not need any money from anyone or any gifts, just some good company. And you could talk about whatever you want, except here's the things that I do not talk. They're not allowed on this channel, and I'm sure that Dakula and Jerry know that too, and many of my people that watch me all the time. You're an interesting dude. You will get 5,000. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much, John Richardson, 2740. Thank you. That's good mojo. The things that I do not allow on my channel is anti-Semitism talk on the chat, racial bigotry, or talking about hurting women or children. All that stuff, get you banned for life from my channel. We don't talk about that kind of stuff. If you want to talk about another thing, I will talk about politics sometimes, but this is not really a political channel. If you want to talk about Iran and whatever Donald Trump's doing, our president in America, and all that other stuff, you can go to other channels. There's plenty of other channels to talk about that stuff. I'm not somebody that avoids the news. I don't stick my head in the sand like an ostrich. I know what's going on. I just don't talk about it all the time. This is not what my channel is about. My channel is more about staying stopped off of alcohol and drugs. That's one thing I talk about. We talk about spiritual things. We talk about Christian things. We talk about Jesus Christ. And we talk about, what else do we talk about? We talk about mental health here. We talk about healing from childhood trauma. We talk about mental health. I mentioned that before. We talk about art and music. And we talk about the United States and the current culture and what's going on in the United States. It's not about really our government. Because, a lot of times we elect people, congressmen, state legislators, and things like that. They just don't represent us citizens like they're supposed to. I mean, there's other ways that we can. Our country's kind of having some issues right now, and not all areas of the country, but a lot of areas of the United States are having some issues. And it's visible. It's not just on social media. It's in real life, too. I see it in Charlotte. I see a lot of younger people a lot of young adults that are, some are in a good mood and they're working and stuff, but a lot of them are kind of feel dejected and stuff like that. They feel like they've been lied to and stuff like that. And they are actually the future. I mean, at some point, people that are, when you get to about the middle of your life, like around 45, I guess really, if you think about it, a lot of the mortality rate for women in the United States is 78, and the mortality rate for men in the United States is 74. So if you think about it, somewhere around 40 years old is a little bit past half your lifetime, unless you have really good genes and you have a healthy lifestyle on top of that, and you stay thin, and you may live to be in your 80s. Or even 90s, like Clint Eastwood. You think you have all this time, you get to 40 years old and you're halfway to 80. Who says you're going to live to be 80? With all the processed food and all the stuff we've been eating. Who says you're going to live that long? Do you know your family history? Do you know your genetics? Do you know where you come from? Do you know what kinds of medical things are in your family? Have you seen a geneticist? I'm seeing a geneticist to find out what I need to look out for. You don't know. All we have is right now. And right now, if you are 40 years old or 45 years old or older, I can guarantee you, it's the younger people's country. If you're under 45 or under 40, it's their future, under 40. The 20-somethings and the 30-somethings, it's their country, and they're going to have to get their crap together. And if they don't get it together, and it's not everybody, but it's about a third of the country, it's in their 20s and 30s. They don't have it together. They don't even know where they're going. If they don't want a United States that's as nice as the one that I grew up in, it's going to be, they're going to get they're going to make their bed and they're going to sleep in it. The United States was a great place. Late 70s, 80s, 90s. You know, I had an exhilarating life as a young person and getting into middle age. I had an exhilarating life. I've had some ups and downs. I've had some tragedies, but it wasn't that bad. It was a lot better than living in Mexico. I've been to Mexico. If this country slides down and becomes like Mexico, by the time that happens, well, maybe if I'm lucky, I'll turn into an old man that just lives up in Missouri somewhere, has to occasionally go into a tornado shelter. You never know. And then the younger people can get older and grow up and end up living in a crappy country. That's kind of like Mexico is right now, because I've been to Mexico and you don't want to live in Mexico. You don't even want to visit there. It's horrible. It's run by crooks. I mean, this country can turn into that. But think about it. If you're under 40 years old, you're really going to live in a crappy country if you don't fix it. Because guess what? By the time you are in your early 30s, men, you're going to be the adults in the room. And you're going to have to decide what direction the United States of America goes. By the time you're 40 or 45, you'll be in mid-level management or management, whether it's a government job or private industry or your own business. You're going to be the adults sitting at the adult table. It's your future. Isn't that true, Julie Newman? It's your future. Start figuring out what direction this country is going to go if you're getting out of college, you're around 24, 25. Start thinking about it. Guilty of being right. I'll be 43 in September. You're ready to sit at the adults table now. Dakula One says, hi, Julie. Miss Julie Newman. Julie says hi. 1960, Clint Eastwood was 30 years old, and he was on top of the world doing television programs. What was he? I saw it on like one of those, the Rawhide. I saw that on one of those cable or satellite television, TV Land or something like that. I never saw it. That's before my time. But I saw him, and he looks, he kind of acted like he does in his movies. He's kind of a handsome guy, huh? You can dye your hair if you want. Who cares? This country is worse than Mexico. How is that? I've been to Mexico almost 25 times. I've been to the border towns. I've been to Mexico City. I've been around. I can assure you that you do not want to drive even on the Mexican federal highways at nighttime. You do not want to do it. I've been to Mexico. I've seen abject poverty. I've seen the shanty towns. The Skid Row stuff and all that stuff, all those people living homeless in LA is nothing compared to the poverty in Mexico. And the people that are running Mexico are absolute crooks. They're worse than the guys that make the rugs. They ought to be ashamed of themselves, and they have no shame. And the president of Mexico is, she's a crook too. So we're not going to get into that. USA is at Wendy Shores is absolutely 100% dead on balls accurate. That's an auto mechanics term. Dead on balls accurate. Wendy Shores is correctamundo. It says far better by all metrics than country of the United States is better by all metrics than Mexico. You mean Clint Eastwood? Clint Eastwood, I think, was born either 1930 or 1931. It's part of what's called the silent generation. That's the generation like that was in the Korean War era, like after World War II. People are stupid as F these days. Yes, they are. A lot of people are. A lot of amazing folks think Mexico is a great country. No, it's not. I mean, Nicaragua has it together better than Mexico. Costa Rica and what else is better? Bolivia, Paraguay, Uruguay, Argentina. And Argentina has inflation all the time. Chile. Those are better places. If you had to live there, I wouldn't live down there. But Mexico is just a horrible place. The last time I visited Mexico was 2006, and I stayed out. And I know why. There's a reason, but I'm not going to get into it now. Clint was cameo in The Creature from the Black Lagoon. Really? I did not know that. Why is healthcare so inexpensive in Mexico? Why are there so many Americans going there for treatment? I don't know. I have no idea. They can go there for treatment. I'm not going to go to Mexico for any reason whatsoever. I know a lot about Mexico and how dangerous it is for anyone. You can't carry a firearm. You can't protect yourself. The police are crooked. The police will arrest you and throw you in jail for absolutely nothing. You have to pay your way out. It's a real mess. You don't want to take any of your family down to Mexico. You don't want to go to Cancun. And I say this to Mexico. It's not a good place. I've been to Ducat 1971. I've been to Cancun many times, and Mexico is a shithole. They have Mexican army walking the beaches. It's ridiculous. You can't even go to Acapulco anymore. Acapulco is very dangerous. You're not in control down there. You cannot have a pew-pew and protect yourself there. You're not allowed to. But the criminals can do whatever they want. And the police and the criminals sometimes they work with each other. It's a place that you don't want to go. It's not an opinion of mine. It's a fact. So I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Don't go down there. You can get hurt. You can get kidnapped. You can lose your life down there. The Dominican Republic is better than Mexico. Even Jamaica is better than Mexico. This is correct. All these statements are correct. I'm living in a sardine can. What sardine can are you talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about. Goodbye for being nasty. I'll pray for you. Okay, if you want to go down and get health care down in Mexico and all that stuff, you go down there and get it. I'm not gonna, you weren't gonna see me there. Anyway, gotta get out of here. I wonder what time it is. Let's see. Oh, it's not on my clock. Well, we're going to take a little bit of walk over to the clock. We're going to see what time it is. It is Eastern Standard Time in the United States of America. It is 7:33 p.m. Oh, look. Check this out. There's that tree out there. There's that tree. Let's see. Is this stable? There's that tree out there. And that tree is an owl. There's an owl in that tree right there. Yeah, he's up there. I've seen him in a couple different areas. Cloudy skies, but no rain. Stratus clouds, is that what they call these? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but in that tree right there, or down in this tree over here, I see an owl out there. Let's shut this. Okay, we're going to pull this back. Leasing now. Not going to buy anything. We have pictures around here of horses. We have all kinds of lamps, pictures of Snoopy, Snow Globe. Here, look at that. Isn't that cool? Snoopy. Now, he's not a Disney character. I'm sure he's not Orlando, but he might visit Orlando sometime. He's a Dr. Seuss guy. Usually Snoopy hangs out in Santa Rosa, California. Well, I wonder who that is. Well, it looks like my mother, my younger brother, and myself. It's a little boy. That's me. A long time ago. Wow, well, look who it is. My father is a young man. My mother with that beehive haircut. Look at that hairstyle. And there's me. Man, I must have been little. I must have been like 2 years old. There's my mother. There's her mother, my grandmother that helped raise me. Her name was Jean. Her name was Jean. Her maiden name was Sheets. Her dad was from western Nebraska on the Colorado border, way out there. They were, I believe they did a lot of things out there. I think one of the things that her father did, and her father came from a large family. They had large families back then in the late 1800s and the early 1900s, and they were horse breeders, and they might have been into some cattle business. I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up, but they were pretty sturdy people. They're very tall. That's where I got my height from. This is my mother's mother. This is the one that I look a lot like. If you saw pictures of her, the color pictures of her and stuff like that, she and I look like I could be her son, you know. Now, what's this? Somebody was asking me to look at pictures of me. They wanted to see pictures of me when I was what? A young guy? A real young guy? Like what? Like 21, 19, something like that? Yeah, I got some pictures. I mean, I'd have to get them out, everything like that. But somebody asked me earlier. Thank you, Wendy Shores, at Wendy Shores. Beautiful family, thank you. Granny has movie star looks. Yeah, she does. My grandmother, if you saw her in real life, she has like these eyes with, well, I have the eyes like that. There is something that Elizabeth Taylor has. Elizabeth Taylor has like purplish eyes. I don't know if it's like a condition, some type of a condition to have like purple in your eyes. Elizabeth Taylor, the actress, had purple eyes, purple. I have purple ring around my eyes. My grandmother and I have almost identical eyes. Let's see. Let's see this mirror here. You can't really see me that well. Let's see. Here we go. My eyes are blue, but they have a purple ring around the outside. We have the same eyes, the same face structure, and everything. Yeah. I look like I could be her son. I miss my grandmother. She helped raise me. She taught me a lot of things about life that I needed to know. She was a apartment complex manager, and she was also a housewife, raised children, and she worked at a bank called Nations Bank, which used to be in the Washington, D.C. area. You've got Jeff Fahey eyes. Oh, you saw Liz in person. She has some type of a purplish to her eyes. I have like a purple ring around my eye, but not her like her. She has these, they look almost purple. Your eyes are like Robert Redford's. Really? I did not know that. I don't think there's any relation. Yeah, I think that double eyelashes is something that Elizabeth Taylor had them, correct? Oh, he's an actor. The condition, it wasn't a condition, it was just rare. It's rare to have purple eyes, and she did have them too. Like Violet, yeah. Clinton, Iowa. Right now I live in Southern Maryland. My handle has my age in it. Oh, okay, you live in Southern Maryland. Do you live over, where do you live in? Do you live in Prince George's County, near the district line, or do you live way down there where it's really expensive down there near the Chesapeake Bay? Just wondering. Or Annapolis, or I know the whole area. I like it down there near Annapolis. Holly said hi. Hi there. Welcome. Welcome back. Thank you for hitting the subscribe button. It helps me out a lot. I want to get to 5,000 subscribers. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Don't touch that dial. I've had just about enough out of those two. I'm going to have to call the authorities. Well, let's see what time it is. It is 7:41 Eastern Standard Time in North Carolina, United States of America. So where are you guys from? And ladies? So where's everybody from? Is there anybody here from California? Anyone from California? Missouri, that's a place I'm considering moving to for different reasons than Orlando. Or go to Orlando and then end up in Missouri. Frayro, FVANIR 1096. Hey, stud, how are you doing? Thank you. Doing well. Busy 2 weeks. Between making bread, administrative stuff, household duties, medical things I have to take care of. Just 6 hours of sleep. Being a friend to people that I know from live streaming. I do my best to help support people's channels that I think are promising and that are really good people, like with big hearts. I will help their channels. I try to advertise their channel and try to promote their channel, which I do. I do that for about 4 channels out of the 10 that I watch. I don't have time for all of it, but 4 channels. I repost a lot of their material. Yeah, I do. Some channels are small to on the small side of. They're not a big channel. I know some channels out of the 10 channels I watch on a regular basis. Really, only about 5 channels I watch on a regular basis on YouTube and on TikTok also. It's surprising to me that you have some channels that are really good channels, really by all metrics, and they're small, and it makes me wonder. It makes me wonder why their videos are not getting pushed out. That's why I repost. Like I have this channel and I have 2 backup channels, just in case there's something happens to this channel. Well, I'm not talking about YouTube. YouTube, I have. What do I have? I have 2 YouTube channels. One's a backup, just in case something happens, like banana it or something like that. But on TikTok, another platform, I have 1, 2, 3 channels, and I don't know the other 2 channels. I'm going to develop into something. I don't know at a later date. We're talking like maybe 5, 6, 7 months from now. I keep them in reserve. I also use those channels to promote other live streamers for altruistic reasons. I think they need to get their videos pushed out more. This is my personal opinion, and to get more exposure, because and to the correct people. Like I'll take a person's channel that's small, and I know that they have the potential to become a fairly large channel. They just need a leg up. They need a leg up is what they need. They don't need a handout. They need a leg up. They need somebody that's in their corner that is going to promote their material and just get it out on multiple platforms. Like there's 4 channels, 2 on YouTube and 2 on TikTok that I am actively reposting their material on several platforms, not just on the platform they're on, like for example TikTok, but also sharing their videos on other platforms and with Facebook friends and things like that. Mm-hmm. Until I also am talking about other people's channels and how wonderful they are in real life too. Whether it's downtown Charlotte, at a shopping center or anything, just in casual conversation with people. And I tell them, I'll write it down. Here's the channel you might want to watch. Thank me in the morning and stuff like that. I think you're going to really enjoy it. No, to men and women. And I share the channel, and I can see that it's helping. I can see that it's helping in many ways. About 4 different people, two YouTube hosts and 2 TikTok hosts. Maybe a third one, somewhat. Every time, oh, that's funny. Kelly Nunes says, 9974 says, every time people say troll, I think of little Keebler cookie elves. That's funny. That's really funny. I really mean that. That is funny. True at Dakula1. Dakula1 is a wonderful moderator. You can be silly all you want, Mike Stroh. That's fine with me. Is that your reason for having a channel? The reason for having a channel is I'm going to eventually develop this into a channel that I'm going to monetize. But I might wait until I get this YouTube channel. I might wait till it's 10,000 and then monetize it. I don't really need the money. The reason I have a YouTube channel, I'll make money off it. I can if I can get to 10,000, which I think I will at some point. But I like meeting people, like reading people's Growth isn't everything. On small channels, you can get to know each other. Yes, you can. BB Baker 7467. When a channel is smaller and you first run into it and you know it's going to be, it can be with a little help, a little bit of elbow grease, can get larger because you know that the person that's doing the channel has several different talents and they're well spoken and they have a good heart and you can tell. And they have like they're intelligent, they mean well and stuff like that, and they have a good disposition. I can tell, I can pick them. And you can get to know someone better. You can get to know someone. Well, put it this way. You got to understand something, that when you're watching other channels, like I don't know, all of us do, but I watch other live streamers, and I've learned from other like I've learned from what's that lady's name? Miss Fucking Wonderful. It's one of the first channels I watched. She's very direct. She's very forthright, a little crass sometimes, but she's fun to listen to. And she has a challenge. The chat's flying and everything like that. I remember her from YouTube. She's on TikTok now. And I learned a lot of things from Katie Roby, AKA Miss Fucking Wonderful. I think it's MFW Live 25. I believe that's her channel now. She has taught me more about how to handle having a live stream than anybody else. And she's done it for purely what seems to be altruistic reasons. I mean, she's good people. I would recommend her channel to watch. You'll thank me in the morning. She's and she knows how to cook too. She's fun. Sometimes there's some drama in her life and stuff. It can be interesting. And she told me I have to embrace the haters. It's you can get to know somebody if you come up and you talk with someone. I know that on YouTube you can split the screen and come up. I have a TikTok channel also. It's just that I stopped live streaming after 10 months in October of last year. I will come up if somebody asks me to come up and talk to them on TikTok. If they know how to have me come up and split the screen, I will come up and I will talk to them. I do that sometimes. I rarely get on panels. Sometimes I go on panels occasionally, but I will come up and talk to people. You get to know somebody even better that way if you have an interest in someone's channel, or if you want to work with somebody else or collaborate with them, which I'm willing to do. I'm willing to collaborate with other people. When you're texting, you only, it takes longer for me to get to know you because you're just texting. You know, there's a lot of people. I am not a person that just automatically believes, oh, everybody's mean, everybody's fake, everybody's no good. There's a lot of younger people that think that way. I don't think that way. I give people the benefit of the doubt, and I can size somebody up even just watching them. For the most part, when I'm watching their channel, their live stream, within maybe one session or a second session, I can size somebody up and I can tell what kind of a person they are inside here. I can tell. I pick it up. I know if they're just a grifter or whether or not they're just there to make money, or they actually are there. Some people are not on these channels as live streamers to make friends. Some people that I've met on YouTube and Twitch, which is another platform, Kick, I have a friend on Kick, a real friend, somebody that tells me exactly what I need to hear on Kick, that was on TikTok, but now they're on Kick, Kick, and they have a really good channel. They're entertaining. They do a variety of things, and I consider them a friend. I have one, two, only three people. One, two, three. At this point, like three people, three live streamers, three hosts of channels that I consider a friend. I trust them. There's an element of trust there. And on YouTube, I have maybe about, I'd say about 6 people, now 7 people, because I've been watching YouTube longer. About 7 people, a lot of people left, just don't live stream anymore. About 7 people that I would consider a friend, somebody that I can confide in and stuff, or that they would take it off. I'd talk to them privately and stuff like that about different things going on in my life and their life and stuff. There's some good people on social media. There are some monsters on here. You have to be careful. You have to be very careful, especially if you're a woman. You have to be careful about some of these weirdos that come on here. You live in Germany? I want to go to Germany and check out your public transportation. I heard you got all kinds of trains and all kinds of ways to get around where you don't need a car and everything like that. I'd like to check it out. I'd like to check out your Autobahn in a rental car. This is a great place just to chat without the trolls. I like it. It doesn't have a lot of trolls even when you're not here at Dakula1, but sometimes it does. Sometimes it does. Every time people say troll, yeah. Bye, guys. Clint, yeah, have a good bath. Sarasota Tim has the gift of gab. Check him out. Okay, I will. Sarasota Tim. My zodiac sign is my sun sign is Cancer. My rising sign is Sagittarius. Germany is a beautiful country. My forebears come from Germany. They came here in the. They came here. Let's see, in the. I think sometime in the mid 1800s, right before the Civil War. They came to New York City and then they moved out to Western Nebraska. My great grandfather and his brothers moved out to Western Nebraska. Some of my family, the other members of my family are originally from Virginia, went to Texas, and then my father's father was from Texas, and he went to Washington, D.C. because he was he worked in the executive offices of the president. He had to advise Dwight D. Eisenhower. He was a mathematician, and he worked with the first computers that they had to figure out a lot of things about, God forbid, if there was a nuclear war, they had to figure out how they were going to use computers to keep track of the Social Security Administration, things like that. That's what he worked on. He ended up being the vice president general manager of UNIVAC in Connecticut. Yes, we do talk about addiction. I have 19 years of sobriety off of rugs and alcohol. I got sober in Los Angeles. They got a lot of good meetings there. 12-step recovery meetings. No, we talk just about everything. It's not just about my family history. It's about your family history, too. You can talk about your family history all day long. I don't care. Hi from London. Hope everyone's doing okay. I don't know. I don't do astrological signs. Mike Stroh. a water sign, then you probably are able to gauge what someone is about pretty quickly. Yes, I do. I have the ability to utilize discernment. If I'm talking to somebody, I continue to talk to them, and they are a bad person, that means there's something wrong with me because I have good discernment. That means I'm talking to a bad person because I want to, which is odd. I've done that before, but I wasn't always the person I am now. You know, I used to drink a lot of alcohol and smoke weed and stuff like that. Maybe I had different alternatives. I had different agendas and stuff when I was intoxicated. I would just talk to a person that wasn't really that good of a person or something like that, but maybe I wanted something from them. Maybe I was walking around Hollywood or something, and I ran into some woman that was very good looking or something like that, and she's rapping with me, and I knew that she was some kind of a, always getting high and stuff like that all the time. But I wanted something, okay? But I was using too at the time, so I wasn't always this way. I don't do that stuff anymore. Like if somebody's a bad person, I just stay away from them. Life's too short. I don't have time for that. Charles County, Maryland, La Plata. Charles County, that's not Calvert County. Is that near Calvert County? Is it on the eastern shore, or is it on the other side of where Calvert County is? Duckett, 1971. I've heard of Charles County. Hello, friend from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Copyright 6568. I lived in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I lived in what is known as East Kensington. There's Old Kensington, then there's East Kensington. I've lived in Fishtown. I've lived in Oxford Circle. I've lived in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Where else have I lived? Somerville, New Jersey, up in North Jersey. My family history is mainly German too. I don't think they were the good kind, unfortunately. Really? If you think I'm aggressive, then you don't need to watch my channel. It's okay. I don't care. I have to read the chat. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania is in the house. Yeah, my sister lives in what's that called? Not Strawberry Mansion. That's the hood. Rittenhouse Square. Vaping, smoking, and PORN. PORN is just a waste of time. Corey Wright, 68, 65, 68. You're in Kensington? Really? Really? About 3 or 4 months ago, they had the FBI raid that one street. Remember that? I saw it, and they arrested almost everybody on the street. And all of a sudden, there's not a lot of rugs like there used to be in Kensington. Now, Kensington wasn't always like that. It was Kensington. It was a poor Irish and Polish neighborhood. That's what it was. With a few Italians. That's what it was. It wasn't like what you're seeing on YouTube all the time now. And it's been cleaned up somewhat, I heard. I hope it stays that way. Once you're into it, there's no coming back. Yeah. Because they'll influence your behavior as well. Yeah. Thanks, but who are you? I'm Randy. aka Hollywoodland22. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, it's free. This is a non-monetized channel. You can come here, you can talk about whatever you want, except for the things I do not allow on my channel are anti-Semitism remarks, racial bigotry remarks, and any talking about hurting women and children. All that is not allowed on my channel, or I'll just block you. You'll never come back. Yeah, Kurt Russell, I heard. A lot of people say that. Bree's husband. Italian and Cherokee. Donna Dixon. Las Cruces, New Mexico. I've been through there once. I lived in Lubbock in the 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade, and part of the 9th grade in Lubbock, Texas. Yeah. I went to Philadelphia, Lubbock, Texas, and then I went back across the country to Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Yeah. So I've been down to Rio Doce. I've been skiing down there, and I've been to Las Cruces. I've been to Albuquerque. I've been to Clovis, Portales. I never went through Roswell, but I've been to Carlsbad Caverns. I've been to Carlsbad Caverns. I've been to Ciudad Juarez, Mexico. I've been to El Paso. I like New Mexico. The West Coast is, I lived in Los Angeles for 29 to 33 years. I can't remember. I have to add it up. I gotta count back the years. Hi from Scotland. Welcome in. Welcome to North Carolina, the United States. New Mexico State University. It's 25 miles of Calvert, 15 miles from St. Mary's. Okay, that's a beautiful area around there, Duck at 1971. What's the kindest thing you've ever done for another human being? Well, if I'd done something for another human being, then if it was truly done out of love, then I'm not going to boast or brag about it. So I'm not going to tell you. Nothing personal. For 15 years on that one street. What's the name of that street? It starts with a W. I can't forget it. They were selling stuff there. There was. I'm 68. Texas mosquito. They're big. In Houston, they're big. Jerry, I've lived in Albuquerque 15 years, but now in Boston. You're in Boston? Really? That's a big change. Albuquerque to Boston. That's kind of like me when I was a kid in 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and part of 9th grade living in Lubbock, Texas, when my mother worked for Texas Instruments and Texas Tech University at different times. And then I moved back to Cherry Hill, New Jersey. It's a big cultural shock between like New Mexico and the panhandle of Texas and Oklahoma, that like area of the country. From there to the Northeast is like this major culture shock. I know. Even as a kid. Donna Dixon raised on a lot of naval bases. 26 years in New Mexico. You're originally from New Jersey. Are you from North Jersey, Central Jersey, or down near Cherry Hill where I'm from? Kelly Noon, hey, I'm back. You guys work at the grocery store. Oh, you do? I worked at a grocery store once. I was a cashier for about maybe 3 months and then did something else. I built Charlotte. Just a few hours of hard working. "35 miles southeast of the District of Columbia. There's parts of Maryland in Northwest Maryland and the Eastern Shore and then Southeastern Maryland near the Chesapeake Bay that are absolutely beautiful. And then there's parts of Maryland that are overpriced and some counties that are actually very dangerous. PG County is really out of control, but it's a state. It just varies depending on where you live. I like Hagerstown. Amy Coleman, I just want a little boost of human kindness tonight. Well, I'll try to be as kind as I can. Anik and Kino, Hollywoodland. Do you live in Los Angeles? I lived in Los Angeles for about 3 decades. Different areas, San Fernando Valley, Hollywood. Pico Robertson neighborhood. Oh, you live by Newark? Yeah, I know that area. I know that downtown Newark, and downtown Newark is the Prudential Life Insurance Company, and there's a White Castle in downtown Newark too that I've been to several times. Oh, you lived in Nutley? You live in Nutley? I know where Nutley is. That's an older town. That's an older suburb of Newark. I've been through there. Charles Boswell, Cherry Hill. That's near Cinnaminson. Cinnaminson, yeah, that's kind of close to Maple Shade stuff. It's in a different county, but I know where it is. I don't know much about it, but I know I used to live in the Cherry Hill apartments across from the Cherry Hill Mall. Cherry Hill is a really nice place. It is. South Jersey is a nice place to raise a family. You're on the Potomac side. Okay. I'm over 45. Well, we got about 23 people in here. That's not very many people. And guess what? It is uno momento. Let's check this out. We're going to find out what time it is. I'm going fast tonight. It is 20 minutes after 8. It is time for me to turn off the lights. Now I'll turn the lights back on. It's time for me to call it night because I have to go Friday night. I'm going to come here 6 p.m. tomorrow. So I'm not eating a lot of food because I'm preparing for that surgery. You probably know what the surgery is if I can't eat a lot of food and I got to be on a liquid diet tomorrow. After 12 o'clock tomorrow and also on Sunday. As you can see, I have all of the clear liquid diet stuff here, the white grape juice. They said this was okay. I called the gastrointestinal specialist and talked to their nurse. It's okay. Got stuff like this, Gatorade Light, Gator Light. Got lime juice. I have Twist Up and Lime It Up, which are generic Sprites. And I have one in the back here too. Over here, my clear liquid diet, I can have black tea with generic sweetener. God, I'm cheap. Crystal Light, which they told me to get brand name Crystal Light. It's about $3.99 a box. My God, that's a lot. And coffee, instant coffee. I bought instant coffee, got to clean me out. And I got myself some chicken stock, bouillon cubes. You know what kind of routine surgery I'm going to have. You've had it too, haven't you? If you're 45 years old or older, you know you're supposed to be getting this every 10 years to detect for colon cancer. This is sliced pears. I do not like anesthesiology. I just don't trust. I don't like being put out. It's not the anesthesiologist. I just don't like being put out. What else do I have? I'm allowed to. Oh, I better take this out of the refrigerator. Time for me to put some hot water on this. What we got? We got some. I can't eat any of that stuff. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. I'm allowed to have butter. I don't usually eat butter. Like I'm on a low-fat diet, but I have some generic Mountain Dew down there somewhere. There we go. I'm allowed to have saltines, white bread, refined bread, and saltine crackers. I have this stuff, which I'm going to have in a little bit. I love that microwave. And that glass tempered stove that is my favorite. So let's see if anyone's figured out what kind of surgery I'm about to have. It's a routine surgery that the doctors recommend that you get when you're 45 years old. And then every 5 years I have to get it. No. Yeah, we do. I do because they detected polyps about 5 years ago. They had to sear them off, so I have to go into a hospital to have it done. I have a question. Why they killed John Kennedy? I don't know. It's 2 a.m. here in Germany. Stay safe. You stay safe too. I want to go to Germany. I know that my uncle's been to Germany. My great uncle went to Germany. He shook hands with Russian soldiers after it was all over. He was a second lieutenant. He went there to fight the Third Reich. You look like 30, not older. Really? I look like I'm 30 years old. Really? You think so? Wow, you're my new best friend. I look like I'm 30, really? You think so? I'm not 30. I'm older than 30. I'm older than 45. But I'm closer to 45 than I am to 60. And in my brain, I'm 19 forever. Yeah, I do look young for my age, I know. Sometimes it's strange. Sometimes people that are like, you should see Julie. Julie looks really young for her age. Sometimes people, if I don't open my mouth or anything, you can tell that I'm older than, you can tell that I'm middle aged when I speak. But if I don't say anything, especially if I get really thin, like around 150 pounds or something like that, and people think, like younger people say all kinds of slang words that not be like, well, what did you just say? Like, I'm picking up on the slang words of the younger millennials and what do they call Generation Z? They're all over. They work in the stores and everything like that. And they're all over the social media, and I'm slowly picking up some of the slang words, which I think are kind of interesting, some of them. Some of them are actually better slang words than Generation X came up with. They're actually more specific, and they're kind of funny. Actually, I don't have to wear glasses. I do to read chat on a smartphone, on a phone. I do not need glasses to read. Small print, yeah, but to read a book, I don't. Like an encyclopedia or something like that, I don't need any glasses for that. It's the screens. I'm thinking about getting, is there, I don't know if anyone in the chat knows this, is there some kind of a cover I can get for the screen? To just dim it a little bit. The light is just, it does something to my, it just hurt. I've been doing this ever since these smartphones came out. I mean, I was messing with these phones when they first came out. I had an iPhone and everything. Out there on the West Coast, we were, a lot of people had these phones before the rest of the country. Yeah, I've seen women that are like in their early 60s that look like they're like 20 years younger or 15 years younger. I mean, they just, some people are like that, you know. They take good care of themselves. You can dim your phone. I can dim my phone. You know, I could do that. Yeah, I could. I'm going to try that next time. I got to Google some things. I got to Google approximate earnings on YouTube at 5,000, approximate at 5,000 subscribers. If I monetize, and just see if it's worth it. I don't know. Maybe I'd have to wait to 7,000 or 10,000. Does anybody know that? I think it's some type of blue light filter. Yeah, it is, Kelly Nunez. Thank you, Kelly, at Kelly Nunez. 9974. You are a very trusty viewer, And I appreciate you coming in here and all of the good advice that you've given me over, I think, the last few weeks now, maybe a month. A lot of money will come from super chats when monetized. You think so? From super chats. I have to learn what super chats are. I read a lot, so I'm gonna read it academically and watch a lot of YouTube tutorials and things like that and find out about this stuff. You know, right before I get to whatever that magic number is, whether it's 5,000 or 7,000 or 9,000 or 10,000, I'm going to find out what the number is that's the magic number that's going to make it worth my while to become monetized. Babbling Brookie, I can tell you it is more dependent on what people give in super chats if streaming. Okay, I understand. Super chats. I'm going to have to find out what super chats are. Yeah, you got my name right. I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did. My in-laws are Amy Coleman says, my in-laws are 62 and 65, but they both look about 45 because they've been vegetarian for 30 years. Some people, and it's probably their genes too. Some people just, they look young. Or you could look young, but you could have your insides all messed up. Blue light filter. Colonoscopy. That is correct, Hector D. It's pretty gross, but I have to get it done. Pray for me. I don't like being put under. I'm asking Jesus to keep me alive. Remember, I want to live to be over 100. Remember, I told everybody that I want to live to be over 100 years old and living in a wraparound porch house in Missouri somewhere with a tornado shelter. That's where my final place to live. I really want somewhere where I can drive and get to Branson, Missouri. There will be a wallet at the bottom when monetized. People can gift what they want to give. It's called super chats. Okay, I understand. It'll be a wallet at the bottom. Babbling Brookie. Babbling Brookie. I'm going to pin that. Thank you for subscribing. I need subscribers. I would really appreciate it if you folks, you ladies and gentlemen, could subscribe to my channel. It's free. There's no charge. I really have a hard time believing that I'm ever going to charge for subscribing. I may, if somebody suggests that I do, a small amount. I'm not sure. I don't think so, though. I want to go the route that guy German in Venice, I saw him from the beginning, and he has a great channel now. The guy that had the henna tattoo shop on Venice Beach, remember him? I want to go the route that he went. He's about my he might be around my age. I'm not sure. Not sure I want to charge or anything like that. But gifts, yeah, gifts would be great. I don't know if it works like YouTube pays you or something like that. I don't know how this works, but we're going to find out. You'd pay a small amount? Well, that's wonderful. Thank you. It's nice to know that. Babbling Brooklyn says, there will be a wallet at the bottom when monetized. People can gift what they want to give. It's called a super chat. I was told that also that I want to eventually get like a StreamYard, something called StreamYards. I don't know what StreamYards is all about, but I'm going to find out. And also that I want to get something called Linktree and accept money on Venmo, Cash App, and donations on PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App, and maybe another one at some point in the future. It's just for fun right now, really. I made a few hundred in a few months, really. a few grand after about 5. Oh, okay, Babbling Brookie. Babbling Brookie. I will. Babbling Brookie, are you interested in being a moderator for my channel? If you are, one thing with Super Chat is too many people keep asking over and over for donations, and it can be off-putting. Yeah, I would imagine so. I would imagine so. I'm entertaining tears, 4102. Thank you for telling me that you believe I'm entertaining. Thank you. I'm just your run-of-the-mill bipolar 1 disorder guy who was in direct sales most of his life. Let's see what time it is. 2 hours and 11 minutes. That's enough for me. I would like to thank everybody. Yeah, you were entertaining. I just set the phone down to listen to you talk. Thank you. You're flattering me. You remind me of my English teacher, really. I think at Dakula One, I think I've seen something to that effect happen. I believe you're right, and I'm gonna take note of that too. Michelle Lipa, same here. Thank you. Have a great evening. I want everybody here to know that I really appreciate you coming onto my channel, to Hollywoodland22. You guys are, and ladies and gentlemen are beautiful. You're worth it. You really are. I believe that Jesus does love you, whether you know it or not. I would advise everybody, whether you're a Christian or not, to open up the New Testament of the Bible and read John 3:16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. Read the whole thing. Jesus Christ saved my life, and I'm a very imperfect person. I still am. And the live streamers that I watch a lot and that I converse with, they know how imperfect I am. They know me better than you guys do, believe it or not. You know me pretty well. It's about the 10 live streamers, 5 on YouTube and about 5 on TikTok. I'd say maybe about 3 of them they know me in here. They know me. They see I'm very real. I'm about as real as you're going to get. But they know me in here at a deeper level, because they are very they know how to read people. They know how to know what somebody is inside. I'd say 3 live streamers out of thousands I've watched since 2019. And that's okay. I'm glad that they know me. They know when I'm having a rough time. They know when I'm having a hard day. They know when I'm going through a lot of heavy emotions and stuff like that. And they know when I'm trying to just put on a happy face when I'm having a bad day, and I try to give you guys a good time, because I don't want to bring anyone down. You know, my life is not always, roses and stuff like that. It's not always like that. I got a lot of stress on me, Got a lot of pressure on me. And I can be a very, I can be, I can be, can be very direct. Sometimes I'm crass, and I don't mean to be that way. It just kind of, it's part of my personality. I don't know if it's a defect or something, but I'm kind of direct. But there is a side of me that's very, very sensitive. And I am truly an empath, if you know what an empath is. And I don't like to see people hurting. And I actually like to help people. I have to be careful not to become codependent, because codependency is like when you're trying to help somebody that doesn't want your help. That's not good for me or the person that I have empathy for. You can't be like that. You have to take care of yourself, you know. But I do care about other people very much so. I think about them, my family, my YouTube and TikTok friends that I have, people that I consider friends. I do think about them. Some quite a lot. I think about my family members very much. I do. Friends and family are very important to me. I've even had some things. I've had some very interesting situations on social media where I have watched live streams or posts or what do they call them, shorts, stuff like that, with just things that I've watched that have just watching them just brought, I would have to say, brought tears of joy to me. You know, like those moments of joy when you watch something that's really, really good and really beautiful that's on a live stream. I've actually seen that. Social media is not all ugly. It's not. There's some very beautiful moments on social media. And I don't think that social media has really evolved into what it could be. I think it's still in a process right now. I think things will get better. I could be an actor. I'm not sure if that's what I would want to do. We'll see. Abdullah, bro, you could be an actor, seriously. Yes, I know. You're correct. I have all of the equipment. Be very versatile. I've had people tell me that. I've had people egg me on to be a film actor and things like that. But I was into doing other things, sales. Other things. It's kind of interesting how I lived within proximity to Burbank, California, and Studio City, and Hollywood, California, that I did other things for a living, and I did not partake in the entertainment industry. But I know a lot of musicians, and I know a lot of entertainers, and I know a lot of people that work in the unions that build stages and things like that. I know a lot of people that do that. Not everybody, but I know enough. But I met them through 12-step recovery meetings, smoking cigarettes in the parking lot and talking about recovery from drugs and alcohol. That's why I don't name drop anyone that I meet in AA meetings or Narcotics Anonymous meetings, and I don't name drop anybody who is a well-known, that is a celebrity or a television actor or a film actor or a well-known musician. I don't talk about them, the people that I know and stuff, for their privacy reasons. It's very important that they maintain their privacy. It's hard enough for their face to be recognized all over the nation. They don't need anybody else saying things like, I know this person, I know that person. Most of the people that are successful entertainers are actually quite friendly. They're quite friendly people. You'd be pleasantly surprised. Yes, indeed. In the future, live stream audience will be able to be viewed as well. More participation. Yeah. But I heard a well-known actor, I'm not sure if it was Robert Downey Jr., the actor, or if it was somebody else. I could be wrong, but some actor did say something about live streaming. People that are live streaming that are well-known is not going to take the place of television acting, television programs, and film. And I concur with that individual's opinion on that. I think that Hollywood is not going anywhere, and that television is here to stay, and that film is here to stay, and that live streaming is going to be something that's just a different type of an entertainment. I'm not saying a person that's a live streamer can't eventually bounce over and get into being a television actor or something like that, or a film actor or something like that. But I don't think it's going to be as common as people think. I don't think it's going to be as common as I don't know who said that. I'm going to check out who said that. So don't quote me on that. But I agree with the actor that said that live streamers are not going to be the most popular thing in the world, to take over Hollywood and put television out of business. I don't believe that's going to happen. Not in my lifetime, not at all. Sales does entail some acting ability. Yes, it does. But sales is more, I take people, I'm always closing the deal from the time they walk into my life, whether it's on a cold call or whether or not they're walking into a store. I'm always closing the deal. That's what my job is. I know Clint, and I think you should do a Western as him as the director. Stoneleaf fans, I know Clint, and I think you should do a Western as him as the director. Really? Oh, you mean Clint Eastwood, the actor? Oh, you know him personally and professionally? I love his movies. I think his movies are really, really good. I've always enjoyed. My father did too when he was alive. He enjoyed. That was his favorite actor. Yeah, the film industry is too large to go. It's not. Hollywood's not going anywhere. Bollywood is not going anywhere. Hollywood's not going to move its main headquarters to Orlando or Atlanta. They'll film their television shows in suburban Atlanta for a tax break, in Albuquerque and Tucson, places like that, British Columbia. But they're not going to leave. The people that bring you television shows, the manufacturing part of it, the manufacturing the television programs, they're not leaving Studio City, Burbank, Sherman Oaks, Tarzana, Encino, Woodland Hills. A lot of those people live in that up and down Ventura Boulevard, and they bring you television programs to watch, and their families live there and everything. They're not going anywhere. They're multi-generational, and they're going to be continuing to bring you television programming, whether it's however they do it, streaming or with an antenna. We go back to using antennas or whatever, satellites. They're going to continue to bring quality entertainment to the United States and beyond. You can take that to the bank, what I just said. So I want you guys to have a wonderful evening. I gotta go. Thank you for coming in and spending time with Hollywoodland, the guy that lived in a guest house in Auburn Beachwood Canyon. For God knows what reason, probably because it was only $425 a month in the late 1980s. I want you to have a wonderful evening. Thank you for coming in. And remember to subscribe let's get me up to 5,000 subscribers by the end of June. Okay, you guys are beautiful. Thank you for hitting the like button, and thanks for coming in and spending some time with me. You guys are beautiful. Thank you.